You're listening to Kapow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts,
Coach Mayer and the OJ.
Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
What else we got going on tonight? Nelton.
I just watched Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought it was an Indiana Jones movie. Those are pretty good.
I had fun.
Good.
I went last night. So
I'm watching Letterboxd, by the way. I'm checking that out. I saw somebody reviewed it, and I was taking a look at the stars there. So I'm keeping up on it. I doubt I'm going to the theater to watch this one just because of principle. It needs to be lower on the list.
Yeah, I think the lists have already started to skew.
They're all gravy. Every time I go, I put it on there. It says $0.
yeah, I'm
I'm
loving
this. Cliff, yeah, I love just seeing Cliff is going to the movies all the time. He's just like constantly leaving, going to the movies. I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome.
Taking off after work on weekdays, it's insane. So,
nice.
but it is. It's like, okay, I had to stop the grocery store on the way home from work last night to pick up potatoes or something. And like I get home, and by the time Alicia's finishing up dinner, she's cooking, it's like 6:05. I'm going to a 6:40 movie. But I'm hungry. So I like grab just a quick couple bites, and cuz Carly had her friend Amanda was over here, and you know, I was letting them do their thing. So I get a couple bites, and I'm like, shit, it was like 6:15. I was like, I gotta go if I'm gonna make this movie. And so I leave, I pull into the parking lot and get out, and it's like 6:44. But it's the mall, and there's a half hour preview, so I'm like, well, okay, you know, no big deal. So I was like, man, I'm still hungry. Well, I'll stop at the concession stand. I walked in there, and that concession stand was like full. So I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna go without. So and that movie was 2.5 hours.
Oh man!
So I was hungry by the time it was over with. But yeah, it was nice. Just walked in. My seat's already got my seat. Got
These
my ticket
people
on
could
my
not.
phone.
Tonight, this lady came up, stood in front of my seat. It was like, you're in my seat. It's like, lady, I sat in this. This is the seat I sat in when I watched the movie. I buy my tickets a couple weeks in advance. I think I know where I'm freaking set. Yeah, I mean, it was packed. Every seat was taken. She literally came in and was like, stood right in front of my seat, got right in front of the screen, was like, do it, and you go down that way. I was like, wow, you're super wrong, and I'm just gonna sit here. So you better start counting seats because I'm not moving. Then she got to awkwardly sit next to me.
Oh,
the movie.
Wonderful.
When she made everybody move the opposite direction.
Yeah, it was weird because
seat.
I was late, getting in there. The previews were playing and all that, and I had chosen an aisle seat, and in the aisle there was one chair in between when I bought my ticket of like 3 or 4 people had already taken the rest of the row. Well, more than 3 or 4, but anyways, I thought, I'm pretty safe. I won't have to sit by anybody. Nobody's going to choose that seat. I go in, sat down. One next to me is empty. I'm like, hell yeah. Some dude comes in later than me, sits right down next to me, and I'm like, shit. Pulls a can of pop out of his pocket.
Hey, I was happy to see the fucking theater full.
Yeah.
I got this movie at number 2. Jesse, I suggest you go see it. What do I got to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hey, let's get you a little summer movie wager update.
Okay.
I'd love to hear this.
Okay, let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, see, this is pre-weekend here. So
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy still in first at 353 million domestic. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse creeping up 328. Little Mermaid 275. Fast 10 145. There's a big drop off there.
Yeah, wow.
Then Transformers 129. Flash in an epic fail. Epic failure.
I picked it low in my list, but I'm still surprised. Like, I thought I was wrong. I thought this.
It was
gonna
the
be
Batman
stupid.
stuff that I thought for sure.
Right.
How do they not go for keep?
Right.
I mean, epic. Only one.
I had a
I
feeling.
think only one superhero movie has done better
course.
than the. I mean, think how to word this. I wrote a note to myself, but
I had
it's
it at
ridiculous.
7 on my list, and I remember, I remember my daughter saying, "Are you going to go watch this?" And I said, "Well, yeah, probably." And she said, "I don't think you should."
Yeah.
And a
only
lot of
one
people said
superhero movie had a bigger drop off in week 2 than Flash ever. It was the summer of Morbius.
It's Morbin time.
So ridiculous. I actually liked
But
Flash.
it
So
made less than Black Adam. How is that
Yeah.
possible?
we know nothing. We know nothing. I will say that
Is this
we're
an episode? Are we doing an episode right now?
apparently just tack it on. But we're like projecting. We're thinking what the people are going to watch.
Mhm.
And no, they're watching actual good movies. We never who'd have thunk it? I don't know. It's crazy. They're watching Asteroid City and stuff. So, hey, do it.
Was this the week that we were having the face off between the flat? Was it? I can't remember the episode, but I know there was like.
Flash versus Elemental.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So
But
I haven't heard
Elemental
you say
did
Elemental.
last.
I had
I was
Elemental
gonna-
way too high.
Yeah, it
Same.
bombed. It wasn't
Oh, that's
bad, but it bombed. So yeah, my list.
It's in the top 10 now. It's at 77, but
Is it?
it won't be there by the end of it.
No, it won't.
No.
I saw No Hard Feelings, which did good for its level. It's at 21 million. That's that Jennifer Lawrence one. Good movie. Fun
I heard it
movie.
was good.
Take the wife.
The wife went and actually. She's seen it already. She went with
Oh,
Kira
okay.
to go watch it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I might go see Asteroid City by the time the weekend's over. Carly wants to see it. I don't know.
Are you a Wes Anderson guy?
Not really, but I
can't imagine.
I kind of every once in a while some weird kind of offbeat movie strikes a chord with me. So
Yeah. I liked it. I've been thinking about it for the last week or so since I saw it. There's some neat stuff. It's very Wes Anderson.
yeah. So you liked Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
I love Supergirl.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I for the most part I liked it. I have the
Like I hope they find a spot for her somewhere in this stuff.
Yeah.
Are we doing a review of it?
I don't know. This is it right now. Who are we doing this for? These guys. We're lucky if one of
They're
these guys
they're
listens.
that's
sitting
right,
right
half
here.
our audience is here.
They're sitting right
Yeah.
here.
I liked it. I thought it was
Live
neat.
episode.
Some of the best Batman stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that stuff on the highway.
Mhm.
I'm like, come on, this is great. I would watch this Batman. I like this Affleck Batman ripping roofs off the cars and
Yeah.
whatever. That was good. She was good.
Yeah,
Keaton was good.
the only real I came out of that movie really like, okay, I like this. I was a little bit surprised. The only thing that really, it's the same thing everybody said about it. It's that weird animation that looked terrible. And I mean, it just,
What'd you expect?
yeah. I mean, I thought as much time as they had with this damn movie and never releasing it, I thought, like, oh, this is going to be off the hook on special effects. And then, which some of them were really cool. But
I mean, when was the last time you saw a movie with somebody playing two roles? And it's
Yeah.
basically seamless.
Yeah. I thought
He is playing two. He's playing himself, two guys, and it's just seamless.
Yeah,
Like you can't do that. It used to be totally different.
that was all fine. I could not, and I'm still not.
Did you guys
real
see?
sure.
You guys haven't seen this movie, right?
I haven't.
I don't want to
haven't.
spoil.
Okay.
I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
But the non-spoiler. Well, did we know that his mom died? Was this ever a thing before? That's
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie. It's not a spoiler.
Yeah, that's
Did we know?
Flash's- Yeah, that's his origin story of, his mom gets killed, his
Okay.
dad gets framed for it and goes to jail. Yeah.
Okay.
That's always been
Okay.
been the story.
There's an entire movie. This whole entire movie is about that. Never comes up. No one is ever concerned. Mostly him is the one that should be concerned. Hey,
Right.
hey, who killed my mom? No, does not. I'm spoiler. Never comes up.
Oh,
No.
jeez.
Don't care who killed my mom. Not interested at all in who killed my mom. Who came in my house and killed my mom.
It killed my mom.
No one's concerned about that.
Yep.
But I thought it was good. It had a good emotional beat at the end.
Mhm.
That whole stuff. I liked how he fixed, how everything it's one of the better DC movies, honestly. So cannot believe it's bombing like it is. I do not know audiences at all.
Right, man. I was going to say, ever after we did the show, I was really concerned. Like, I'm like, man, I put this.
Yeah,
I
I was
think I
concerned
had
for you. I was
I
like,
think I-
these fucking idiots.
I had it. I'm looking at it. I think I have it at 9, and I'm like, there's no
You're looking
way.
good.
These
You're looking
guys.
good. It's looking like it's going to drop to a 9.
The arguments you had, and plus I've even heard other people talking about the movie, and it's not like I've heard anybody really, really complaining about it either.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the problem? It's pretty crazy.
So, what'd you think, Jordan? Into the Snyderverse. What'd you think of it?
Into the Snyderverse.
The Flash.
Flash.
Oh. It's hard to say stuff without spoiling.
I just did it.
It just felt like there were a lot of versions. Like, you could kind of tell, like, this had been around the block a few times. It had been delayed a few times. It had a couple different screenwriters because, like you said, I assume you were talking about the mom mystery.
Yeah.
It just got dropped.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point they had the Reverse Flash and had, comic accurate,
Mm-hmm.
Flashpoint type thing, but then that got dropped. They set up the whole thing at the beginning where he needs to eat to
Yeah.
recharge,
Yeah.
And then
they just stop. That's not important later.
yeah,
They
and
kinda
they did it
forget-
really well too. Like, I mean, I was like, oh yeah, that I'm with this.
I love
This is a
the
fun joke.
absurdity of
Yeah.
the beginning, like the absurdity of the problem he's trying to solve at the beginning of that movie
Mhm.
out the window. And I mean that was so ridiculous. I loved it.
That was my favorite Letterboxd review. Was we've got next year's Oscar winner for movie moment. That microwave. But they also set up, and I applaud them for that. Like, Barry is somehow neurodivergent. He is on the spectrum or something. Like, we've set that up in these past movies. Even the way he acts a little bit awkward or different or whatever. And we set up, he goes to the coffee shop and he can't order without the regular girl there. Like, that's a very Asperger's type thing, autism type thing. And then he meets his doppelganger and he's fine. And then they're both they're both fine the rest of the movie. Like, it was like several different movies Frankenstein together. But it was still, I still enjoyed it. I loved the Michael Keaton stuff.
Yep.
Ezra Miller wasn't as distracting as I feared. The action was interesting. The time travel-y stuff was fine.
It was don't think too hard about it type
Right,
thing.
right.
Like, music was good.
And then it was almost a smaller scale where like he messed up the timeline. Well, it wasn't like, oh, the Nazis won World War II and everything's completely different. Like, the comics, the Atlanteans are at war with
Right.
the Amazons, and like the whole world is different. This is like a much smaller.
Eric Stoltz is Marty McFly.
Oh, what a timeline! Crazy.
Yeah, just for that he has to go back and fix it. To fix
Right.
back to the-
That's more important than even considering who killed my mom.
Great.
Oh, that was pretty good. Oh, yeah, like I said, I watched a movie about a girl who needs a car. So the parents of a boy just finishing high school paid her to date their son to give him the confidence and life experience to become the man they think he needs to be. And that movie is No Hard Feelings and Somewhere in Queens. Those movies are both the exact same plot. Watched them in the last 2 weeks. I recommend them both. They were both very good. Enjoyed both those movies. But I was very surprised. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Those are the exact same plot.
Something's familiar here.
Yeah. I did add a scene to my list for the end of the year for the Pooh Bah Awards of my least favorite scene of the year. And it was from No Hard Feelings, which I do recommend the movie, but it's a terrible scene.
Oh.
So stupid. But it's just, it was really that movie I liked because it was like a R-rated comedy. I mean, I guess maybe I just don't go to those. A lot of those don't appeal to me. This one appealed to me, like a more I don't know. I don't say more traditional. I don't know. There's something about it like felt like fun. Jennifer Lawrence she's a dink dink movie star doing an R-rated comedy. So I recommend it. I've been telling people. I've been telling girls I know, go see it. Hey, I think you would like this. Go to the theater. So
I just love that Dink Dink has stuck
Yeah.
around.
I like it.
Quotation marks.
That's
on
why
the
I said-
Dink
podcast.
dink.
Dink Dink.
Dink dink.
So, Jordan, you watched any other movies?
Just that Stan Lee documentary on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's
yeah.
for true believers. I heard.
Anybody else see that one?
Yeah.
No,
No, I've been wanting to watch it, man.
I've been kind of thinking about it, but I haven't rushed to it just because of all the the word I've been hearing is it's just more Stanley propaganda. I'm a fan, but it's like somebody says for true believers, and I knew exactly what they meant. It's like you're gonna get Stan's side.
Yeah.
So we're not breaking any ground here with what we really want.
It's Stan Lee on Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Stan Lee.
It's definitely him self-mythologizing as he does best, because the whole thing is vintage audio and vintage video. There's no talking heads, there's no recreate, or there's like these animated little interstitial things, but it's all his voice from interviews, and the Mighty Marvel Marching Society record they put out in the 60s. Like, it's all this audio they have of him doing interviews on college campuses and stuff, and then a ton of video that I've never seen before of similar things. So yeah, it's Stan on Stan, but it does a few times venture into that idea. Like, it has this radio interview where he and Kirby are kind of, Stan, that's not what a creator is the person who actually creates it. And Stan's like, no, I think a creator is the person who has the original idea, and then anyone can draw it. So there's a couple like,
Wow.
ooh, they actually got into it.
They
Yeah.
did. Wow.
But it's still, it focuses almost entirely on the 60s.
Mhm.
It's like his life ended in 1968, and it was great, and then he had a bunch of cameos, and then he died. It's like, no, there's a lot of other stuff that happened that wasn't so great, but they don't get into that at all. But yeah, it's worthwhile, even if you know every fact they tell you. The vintage video and stuff is really cool to see. There's stuff from Comic Cons and panels that he did. there's a great like a talk show panel, where it's like, those old 70s talk shows where everybody's smoking and the guys in suits and stuff, and like
It's got the guy from DC.
yeah, what was it? Paul? No, not Paul Levitz. It was Julius Schwartz, and they're like, the stand is like, at Marvel we're trying to be hip and have everything be realistic, set in the real world, and here's stuffy old Julius Schwartz is like, we at DC find realism is not important, and like he basically says like, we make comics for children and children don't care, and it's like this really like eye-opening, like, wow, even in the 70s this guy was way out of touch.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, I got my prize for winning that game setup contest or whatever.
Oh,
on Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah, they sent me $150 worth of terrain. Monster Fight Club is a terrain company. They make some quality stuff. That stuff's like, it's expensive stuff. But I used some of it at a contest, and I did a couple setups and turned them in and won. But anyway, yeah, they sent me $150 worth of stuff. So
nice.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
I'll take it. So thanks to
Sweet.
Monster Fight Club for the recognition. I tried to invite you guys to play games. Everybody's like, fucking no way.
Hey,
We don't do
Fuck that
shit.
guy.
Ghost that guy.
I had a thing. We had a volleyball engagement, and it was
That's
totally worth it. We
Yeah.
went 12
We
and
didn't play
0.
on Saturday anyway. Well, I ended up having baseball.
Oh,
We won too many games and kept having. I mean, it was baseball all weekend, but we did end up playing Sunday night. We got together and played. I have the last 2 boxes of Time Stories. It was my favorite game ever. So we played one called A Midsummer's Night, and I played as a fawn, which I don't know if you know this, but traditionally I was raised on Chronicles of Narnia, where Mr. Tumnus is this friendly fawn, but apparently mythologically, fawns are like big sex pots.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's who I was, and I was going around. I got to this one point in the story, and there was a unicorn at this lake, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to this unicorn and try to get busy. I've got hooves, so
Something's gonna happen
I
here.
ended up murdering it for its horn. And I don't know. I've never thought a lot about unicorns. I always, it's kind of like the girls thing,
Right.
Girls like unicorns. So I murdered a unicorn. Unicorns' horns are notoriously powerful, give you powers. And I think I figured out why there are no unicorns, because there's no consequences for murdering a unicorn. I got all these powers from it, and I kept waiting for the other horn to drop, and it never did. I just had a lot of powers, and so if you see unicorns, kill it, take its horn.
All right then.
Probably the last one.
I'll remember that.
Little life hack.
Yeah. I'll remember that.
Gotten back into the trivia game as well.
Ooh, I was wondering when somebody'd bring up that we're back on top.
Cliff, you would have been very proud of us.
ooh,
Oh,
nice.
that's
One
true.
One of the very important question at the end of the game was, this movie was the first to have an accompanying soundtrack
First movie
Yeah.
ever.
from 1936. They gave us the
Seven.
year. 37.
Fantasia?
Nope. Fired. I was hoping to get it wrong.
What was it?
It was a Disney movie. It was the first Disney movie.
Oh, Snow
Animated.
White.
Snow White.
Huh.
I guess I was thinking like they Do you mean like they put out a soundtrack, like for
Yeah,
sale?
like-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
We got
so you whipped
we got
up
first
on 'em,
place.
huh? Yeah.
Yep. Now we eat for free next time.
Where are you going? You going Townhouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
They pay off the biggest and don't
Mm.
cost us money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a load. So, yeah, we haven't we haven't watched a whole lot. You guys didn't. I'm guessing you haven't watched Secret War or Secret Invasion yet.
I
Secret
watched
Invasion.
the first 2 episodes. Anybody else watch?
I haven't. It's on the list. I'm actually going to do a review.
I actually rewatched the first episode because I was on my phone. Don't get on your phone.
I was on my phone both episodes. I have no idea what happened.
Exactly.
It did not hold my interest at all.
I watched the first episode on my phone because it didn't hold my interest. And then when it was done, I was like, I have no idea if that was
Yeah.
good or not. Because, yeah, you know, I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt that it was there was some subtlety there, and you're supposed to figure out who's a Skrull and who isn't, whatever. So I rewatched the first episode, and it was better.
Okay. Yeah.
If you actually watched it,
If you actually watch it, you know,
It
it didn't
actually-
blow me away, but I did enjoy the first 2 episodes pretty much, and you kind of have to pay attention. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to,
hate to break it to you.
yeah, gonna have to
You got
actually
it.
watch the show.
Yeah. might
Yeah,
wanna-
but there's only 6 episodes. The only reason I went back is that it's 6 episodes. I'm gonna give it a chance here. Right? You know, they're basically hour episodes. You know, Nick Fury is getting too old for this shit, as you would expect.
Very much so.
And I'm giving him a chance to scroll it up here because I was never a big fan of what they had done originally.
Skulls. Mhm. Yeah.
So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, speaking of shows that don't have a lot of episodes and actually got shorter before it's over, we sat down and watched HBO's The Idol over the last week.
This foreplay.
Oh
No.
boy.
It is. I don't know what it is.
That's the foreplay.
It is. It's a thing.
I already cut it down. I told you I already cut it down to 0 episodes.
Yeah.
I've shortened the whole series.
It
Not
was
interested.
supposed to be 6,
As
but
soon
it's
as I
only
saw
going to
the
be 5.
weekend, I was like, no,
Yeah.
not interested in
not.
watching the weekend act.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
be. You should not be. No, it is weird and kind of gross.
Mm.
And there are parts of it where I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. But then they're just right back into like all the stuff I don't want to see. That just is not very interesting, or it's just there to try and, you know, give you that shock value. And there is a reason they canceled it at 5 episodes.
Well, while you're on HBO, how are you? What's your vibes on the new Righteous Gemstones? Season 3.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I told Jordan, I was like, I feel like this was a 2-season show.
I think you may be right, unless they have something, tucked up in a sleeve or pocket somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it just doesn't have the something. Maybe it's just these are outrageous characters, and you can only do that for so long.
He did point out that.
should have been
There-
2 seasons and then a spinoff of Baby Billy's Bible
Yeah,
Bunkers.
yeah.
Yeah.
When he got to Baby Billy's, what is it?
Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers.
Bible Bonkers. I would say that was my favorite part of the first 2 episodes, and I would watch just that show.
Yeah.
So Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers does not roll off the tongue, but it sounds like a great show.
Yeah. I can never remember that actress's name, but she's been in a lot of television shows. She was in years ago. She was in Third Rock from the Sun, and then she's been in that Mom show. I hate that show. My wife loves it, but I don't care
Working?
much. Huh?
Working?
No, not working moms. No, God, no. There's working moms up here, and then that it's just called Mom or something.
Mindy just started Moms tonight.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm not kidding you either.
You need working moms.
We need some.
Does she watch
moms.
Working Mom?
Yeah.
Kristen Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care for her, and as soon as she showed up,
Wow.
I was just like, ugh. So, yeah.
What about the bear? What about the bear?
I was hoping somebody else has watched season 2 of The Bear.
I did.
Yeah, I love it. I love that show.
Well, I watched a movie called, I think it was called, I'm not even going to guess. There was a movie last year that was about restaurant, and it got rave reviews as an indie movie. About the hecticness of having a restaurant, and it was the most boring movie. And I was like, this is not what it's like. I worked in a restaurant for
A long time.
first 15 years
Yeah.
of my working life was restaurants, but I worked on a line, just like this, and the Bear so much more encompasses what it is to work in a kitchen,
Yeah. And it
just
really
the terms they use and things. It's like light years ahead of the other one, showing it's crazy. You want to die. You're like, are we going to survive this? And what you have to do, and the language involved, all the shortcuts and things. I was like, is everybody else catch all this? I'm sure, but it's just neat to be thrown back into that. It's a great show, but it's another show that you will hate it if you're on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's easy to slip into that, but if you actually are just watching the show, it's a totally different show.
Yeah, I highly enjoyed it. I like season 2 and where they went with it also, with having some of those.
Yeah, they didn't just do it agagen.
They
I
focused
thought
on
it
some
would,
other
dude.
characters and taking them on a little bit of showing growth and taking them on a journey.
Yeah.
My wife enjoyed it. We both loved it. So
Good show. Good
yeah.
show.
I'm a little upset because I wish they wouldn't have dumped it all at once. Like I think
No, I wanted to binge it.
I think it would have been.
I
a
think
little
the
better to
sixth
have a little
episode is
time.
the 6th or 7th episode has like 100 guest stars, and it's like it's ridiculous. Like it has so many people in it, and which is a nice surprise, and everybody's like going for it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And I like the last episode. It's great. I like the episode. I think Richie. I think that's his name. That's
Richie.
that's my favorite episode. And he was on Andor, and he was in Girls, that HBO show. And it's like he's good. He is
I wear suits now.
irritating, but he's good. Yeah. Good show.
Good show.
I know. I had a question. Did anybody watch Black Mirror yet? The latest Black Mirror.
Oh yeah, I did.
I have a huge problem.
I don't live in your house.
You have.
Oh no! Did they cancel you?
Oh,
Yeah.
don't
What
share
happened?
that
Tell me how that
password.
went down. Did you try to
I'm
log
with
in?
Jordan.
It was like a Black Mirror episode. It was horrifying.
Same thing happened to me.
Oh my gosh, that's what I wanted to. That's
the
real
first time I did it, I clicked it. Said he's like, "Hey, prove that you live in this house, please." And I clicked not now. I clicked not now. I was like, "Okay," and it let me watch. I think you should leave the sketch comedy show, and then
Okay.
Black Mirror was coming on. I was like, "Let me see if I can still get in there." Like, nope, can't get in there anymore.
Wow. I was wondering how that would go, if anything had happened yet. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sure, it happened to Nick too. Nick's riding that Netflix. He probably hasn't tried it yet.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah,
the dream of the Patreon account getting to where it will pay for
good luck.
for Netflix
Yeah.
and all that crap, so we don't have to.
So, what'd you think of Black Mirror there, Jesse? I saw you raise your
Yeah,
thumb.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. I do recall reading some reviews of a couple of the episodes, and they were pretty scathing. This ain't Black Mirror. What are you talking about? This ain't Black Mirror. And it's like, it's
But the
it's
voice
fine.
that you hear in your head when you're reading that.
Yeah, it sounds just like him.
And you're like 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars.
I rated 1 5 stars just to make everybody mad.
Which one?
And it was the one with I think it was the Red Mirror one. No, I don't think it was the Red Mirror. I don't know if you saw that. Well, there was one that was titled Red Mirror Production, which I think was the Demon 79.
Oh, that's the last one, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it was that one. There was one right before that where they.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. With Zazie Beetz.
Yes. Yeah. And
people hated that. People hated that.
Yes, they did. And I liked it. I was like, you guys didn't know this is the way it was going to go down.
No, I didn't.
Idea.
I didn't hate that at all. And people were so hard on that. I did not get that at all. No, I had a huge problem with one of the episodes.
Okay, I want to hear it. I mean, however, if you don't want to spoil it,
this isn't a big spoiler because you. I mean, it isn't. These guys. He doesn't even have Netflix. There's one with Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett, which both outstanding actors. Like it was so neat, and we had Kate Mara, I believe it's her name. Is that her name? Rooney Mara's sister.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway, good actress.
Family.
They great. Josh Hartnett's a good actor. He was back doing a good job. Aaron Paul is so good at the emotional stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's a long freaking episode. Like it is definitely at least an hour. Like
yeah, it is.
At least. And it's about these two guys that are astronauts. Correct me if I messed anything up. The technology involvement is that they have basically androids of themselves on Earth that they can go lay down in this thing and kind of plug their little key in, and they go into, they're now on Earth in the body of their android of themselves, and they can kind of live their life, hang out with their family, basically. And
I know exactly what you're going to say.
What? I don't think you do.
You go ahead and continue with the plot, and stop before you do your reveal, and I'll see what. Okay,
that's basically. I don't want to spoil anything else. That's the technology involvement. And go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say. So, is your problem with the episode the fact that we could reverse this?
Yes, it's a major problem. Why would you send people to space and let them come back and live and live their lives out in the body of an android?
Right, dude.
It's ridiculous. It's the dumbest. I'm just like, how did that never cross their mind when they wrote this? It's like, you would send the androids, you idiots.
Oh man. I
wanted to know what was going on under the belt line. What's going on down there? You know, do the things work or not? Because there's a lot of issues with that in this episode. Yeah. And I bet the ones in space do. Why did we just flip this? The guys in space don't need them.
That's
Put the androids up there.
Here's the thing. You talked about how long that episode is. And I wanted another 20 minutes because where we end this we need to go longer. We need to see what's about to happen at the very end. But of course, it's one of those things where it's just like, whoop, it'll leave it up to your imagination.
It was definitely an abrupt ending. You were like, okay, you know, kind of a, I don't want to say anything, but anyway, I enjoyed it, but I did think that was ridiculous that was where we were at. This was the choice that was made for the technology. I thought it was one of the weaker seasons of Black Mirror.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
I didn't hate any of it, but I there was no episode that I would add to the pantheon of great Black Mirror episodes.
I think Demon 79. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm curious what you thought.
I was
just horror. It's just horror.
Well, and that's why I think it said Red Mirror Production, because I think that's the whole thing that they were going for. Like, it doesn't always have to be technology, but a lot of people.
That's Black Mirror, though. Like, the point is different to me.
I hear you.
I think the one that was the most Black Mirror was the first one about Joan. I can't remember the title of it. Like Joan sucks or something. Joan's awful. Joan is awful.
Joan is awful. Yeah.
That was the most Black Mirror, and is we're just a breath away from that reality. And it had some star power too in that. I thought that was interesting and definitely makes you think maybe I need to not be very online.
A lot of great discussion about AI in that episode. And I listened to Rob Liefeld's podcast, and he was actually talking about, I don't know a whole lot about the whole writer strike and their issues with AI, but he started talking about some of the things that they were bringing up, specifically Justine Bateman. I think we had this discussion at your house. Didn't
a little
we?
bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But yeah, she was talking about how, like, you know, and the AI is going to be so advanced that you can see yourself in a movie, and where's that going to leave us?
Yeah.
And therein lies Joan is awful a little bit. You know, you start seeing elements of that, and it's so I loved that part of that season, and that show was good. Yeah, I liked it.
AI is going to start podcasting, Jesse, and then where are you going to be?
Right.
Yeah.
Take your jab.
What am I going to do? Oh, gosh. But yeah, I liked the Demon 79. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was decent, but I mean, I definitely feel the argument for it being one of the weaker seasons. So it isn't any White Christmas. I'll tell you that much.
No, I love that one.
Man,
some John Hamm.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. That's all I got.
I was going to say, I finished right before we came on here. I watched the American Gladiators. Netflix.
Oh yeah, I'm watching that. It just dropped yesterday.
It was good. If
it was
you guys
good?
get it, yeah, I liked it.
I always watched that back when it was on, like Turbo and
Laser
Siren.
and Zap and
I remember Turbo and Siren, and was she like she have a hearing problem? Was that?
They didn't talk about that.
I thought she did. I felt like I remembered Siren actually having a hearing problem.
Okay.
Lasers
anyway,
and blazers and all other
lasers. I watched all that.
It was a great.
We used to turn our whole basement into an obstacle course.
Oh,
whip tennis balls at each other.
Seriously,
100%. I'm sure we all did American Gladiators with couch cushions involved.
Yeah. What's strange is that this released, and I think ESPN 30 for 30 just did one on American Gladiators as well. I haven't had a chance to see that one, but I heard it's pretty good. But yeah, it's weird that both of those are out there just within a month of each other practically. It was a show that I've rarely caught. I've seen it, but I wasn't heavy into it. But it was fun to watch, like all the behind the scenes stuff and all the trials, tribulations, and injuries.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I'll have to check it out.
It's good.
Good. Good deal. Anything else? Anybody got anything else they want?
I'll tell you about. Well,
go ahead.
I will. I was just gonna say I'll pop right in here and then I'll be done. I watched Still, which I don't know if you guys had seen this. This is a movie.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah, about Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
That was a great look into his life, especially his career, and just watching him deal with this disease that he has.
That guy, I mean, I will always have such a strong feeling for him. Like there was nobody bigger to me, in 85 and that era. Like he was Alex P. Keaton and Marty McFly, and that just, blew my mind. So yeah, I was super interested to watch this and just watching his struggle. I thought it was a really good documentary and opened really well. Like I think it's the first scene he falls down. I like when he falls down walking by that girl.
Yeah,
it's so quick. He's like swept me off my feet. Yeah.
Oh man, it is amazing to watch him have to just try to live life without breaking a bone because he fell into something.
It's ridiculous. I honestly was surprised at that, how often that is an issue.
Right.
And I mean, it's very clear that happens all the freaking time. And, you know, it's just definitely the idea that money does not stop you from having problems. And
yeah. I mean, he's in.
it goes into pretty good detail, like of his career, also just like how things went down. I had never seen it besides the Parkinson stuff. I had never really seen exactly how it all went down. We all knew the stuff, him going back and forth between the set of Family Ties and Back to the Future. Heard that a million times, but I had not heard like the steps before that of him making it, you know, how he made it. It was interesting. So definitely recommend if you have, you know, Apple, it's immediately watch that.
Worth a watch.
I was just going to say the third season of Reservation Dogs is coming out on Hulu in August. I just announced today it's going to be the last season. It sounded like Hulu wanted them to make more, but the creator said they finished writing the third season, and the finale is a perfect series finale, and they didn't want to overstay their welcome. So Sterling Harjo and Taika Waititi decided to just end it there. It's been my favorite show the last couple of years, and they have been, if you don't have Hulu, they have been rerunning the first two seasons on FX to catch you up before the third season launches. So they haven't aired it on basic cable yet, but they're finally doing that. So
I got to finish the second season. I'm about halfway through and just forget about it. I forgot about it. Yeah, but I like it. Good stuff.
Jared, you're being
Jared, do you not watch anything? What are you doing?
He's watching
the Michael J. Fox movie. It was great.
Okay.
What are we watching right now? We're trying to get through the last season of Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, I've watched every season except the last season. Hey, we didn't talk about the breaking news that she was cast as Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan, which I thought I think the first time I saw her was in House of Cards. She had a very small role in that, but was very noticeable, like that she was a good actress, and I'm sure she was in something else before then, but that's the first time I saw her, and I like her
because the first comment I saw online was not pretty enough.
Yeah, well,
and then below that, someone said big forehead.
Wow.
So sorry. She's gonna be a terrible Lois Lane. Guys,
my first thought was the Snyder Bros are gonna be perfectly satisfied because, it's so white. We did it. I'm sure that's the first thing they're gonna say. We did it. We got a white Lois and a white Superman. So what do they have to complain about? But no, I really liked her, and she's that Marvelous Miss Maisel. It's obvious that was like a great casting video to get her, because she's that fast talking reporter type character. So she will do great. She's a great actress. And I don't know this guy, but what's a more Clark Kent name than Corn Sweat? Have you guys seen this guy in anything?
Yeah, I have not seen him in anything that I know of, but yeah, I saw the.
He looks
picture
like
of him.
Superman. So
this is for Superman Legacy.
Yes.
Okay. James Gunn.
Yes.
Okay.
This is it. This is their Superman and Lois. So I was kind of curious if they would go with, get out of the box or anything, but nope, going for a, I guess, more traditional. But I like her. Anyway, how is the last season of Miss Maisel?
I think we're like 3 episodes in, but yeah, it's great. You can tell they're kind of like, they knew it was the last season, so they're kind of like doing some time jumps and stuff and like going forward in time. So it's kind of interesting the way they're kind of choosing to do that and wrap it up. So yeah, good so far.
I'll have to check it out. All right, I think we did it. Sounds like we.
That
I think
was
you
very.
tricked us in the second episode.
Yeah.
Is that an episode?
That
That's
was
an
an episode. Yeah, that's right. We just did an episode. There's no
I'm sitting there,
beginning.
like halfway through it, and I'm like, man, maybe I should be quiet because maybe I'm not supposed to be on this
You
episode.
guys are on it. You guys are on it.
Just rolled right through it.
No beginning.
Look out.
Just faded in.
All right, so these fellas will be back for part 2 of the Marvel MCU countdown. So be on the lookout for that one.
Part
Be
3.
sure and check that out.
No, part 2.
Oh, we're putting this
Spanning
out.
time, Cliff. We're
Oh,
spanning.
Always.
Okay.
We always do that.
Okay.
Way to F
Sorry.
it up.
Sorry. I'll cut that out.
And
Cut
then
yourself
part
out.
3 later, even.
Where
after
they
you
will
listen to part 2.
Statler and Waldorf, they will set and critique us as we pick the top 11.
We'll have no power, but we will have opinions.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, we will.
I like it.
All right, get out there and download a bunch of source material episodes.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. Hey,
Subscribe to the Radishes and Broccoli Network.
Yes.
yes, indeed. Listen, guys, if you like to listen to me talk about comic books, I do plenty of that over there on the Radishes and Broccoli Network.
You got him to say. I love it.
Source Material Comics Podcast. Find it on
Good.
your feed in your podcatcher. There you go.
I listen to it.
There you
Me
go.
too.
I love it. I love it.
All right, thanks guys for joining us for this episode? Question mark.
Sure.
That's how we get the 400 guys. We just
Yeah.
power through.
Anything.
That's true.
We'll slap a number on it, hit publish. That's the
There was-
KPP magic.
There was a point. It was a competition, trust me, inside my head on episode numbers versus you guys. Now there isn't.
Wow. Yeah, don't make it a competition because you will lose.
Apparently. Apparently.
That
We're
pan-
going for quantity.
Yes, not quality.
Oh,
All
man.
right, we'll be back soon. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Farms.
I'm Seth. That's Jesse and Jared. Bye forever.
Kapow, the Pop Cultured Podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a comment. Kapow, the Pop Cultured Podcast, can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. You can connect with us through social media on Facebook, YouTube, at the Kapow Podcast on Twitter, or email the show, Kapow, the Pop Cultured Podcast @gmail.com. If you really want to go the extra mile, join our Patreon at patreon.com/udownwithkpp for special content and access to Patreon-only benefits. We are grateful for anyone who chooses to contribute, but please know that most of our content will remain free. So please continue to like, comment, and share.